All right. So I should be live, but I have to wait for it to come up on YouTube. And sometimes it takes its sweet time doing that. My goodness, that is a really long delay. All right, since the delay is so long, I'm going to just look at StreamYard and not at YouTube, or it's just going to mess me up. And thank you, Kim, for moderating for me today. And I have to tell you, I feel like a complete phony because I haven't done StreamYard in so long. And when I went live this morning, it has a little thing that says enhance your appearance. And I was like, do what? So, and it's like a scale. So I went minimal on the enhancement, but I am not mad about it. I'm just saying it took the wrinkles right out, but I feel just a tad bit fake about that. But hey, I will take all the help I can get. All right, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited. I haven't been live in so long, and I'm hoping that this is something maybe we can take advantage of in the future. And do I look totally fake? I don't know. Oh yeah, I did. I'm doing a new setup, and so I hope when I switch my camera down, you'll be able to see. Hi, Aretha. I'm hoping that the lighting situation is way better, a huge improvement. So you'll have to let me know what you think. And now that we've got better internet, I should be clear and good to go. And today we are going to make some stuffed bunnies, and I'm very excited about them. So let me show you. We're going to make two different ones today. So this one I haven't embellished. I just left him on basic. So this is the one that you'll be able to make either sew or no sew. So I'll show you both ways to do that. Isn't he cute? And then we're also going to decorate him today also. But then, while this is very cute. Hi, Ina. I also wanted to make one that would stand up. So this one you have to sew. Of course, I've already embellished him all up. But isn't he cute? So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's very easy. Actually, this one has a little bit of rice in it so that it will stand up. And I'll show you better when I flip my camera down. So we're going to make this one too. So I'm going to show you this one first, which is sew or no sew. And then I'm going to show you how to do the one that stands up on its own. Aren't they adorable? They're so cute. So feel free to put in the chat if you have any questions. Kim is here helping me, and she can message me if I don't see something or if it's something that she doesn't have the answer to. She'll be able to help you with that. And the reason we're doing stuffed bunnies is because I am hosting a stuffed bunny swap in my friend Judy's Facebook group, which I believe the name of the Facebook group is Decoupage and More. All of a sudden, I don't remember. But if Kim gets a chance, she can pop the link in for Judy's group if you want to join in there. We do swaps almost monthly in there. And so this next swap is for stuffed bunnies. So I thought I would come on and show you my take on a stuffed bunny. So let me see if I can figure out how to switch my camera. And then we'll get started. Settings. That seems easy enough. Oh, look. I think I got it. We shall see. All right. So here's the new setup. Do you like the lighting? Thanks for popping that link in there, Kim. I feel like it's much better. All right, and I have to put in the hair clip, y'all, because I have too much hair and I get all kind of hot up here in the loft area trying to craft. So I think that lighting's pretty good. Yeah? So the template I'm going to use is this one. And I found this on Google. You can just put in the Google search bar any kind of template you're looking for. So I put in bunny template, and I put free bunny template because you want to make sure that it's a free one. And I found several, and I put this one and another option actually in the event for the swap in Judy's group. And this one comes from Crafty Morning. It was a free template from Crafty Morning. So it's up to you if you print it out on cardstock or on paper. I cut mine out on paper so that I could pin it on. I did size it on my printer before I printed it out to take up the full page. And then I went ahead and cut about a 1/4 inch around it to make it a little bit bigger, because however big you make it, once you stuff it, it's going to shrink in size. So let me show you what I did. I got my fabric. Now we're going to talk about making this one first. And this one you can sew or glue. And everything's on the outside. So it's not like we're going to be turning anything right side out. So you will have, instead of putting right sides together, you're going to put wrong sides together on your fabric. This beautiful fabric here came from Angel Dream Crafts on Etsy. And Kim can pop the link in for her shop. It's also in my description box. I don't know if she has this particular fabric, but she does have beautiful fabrics, and I love them. They're so pretty. So I just laid my template on. I pinned it down, and then I actually cut even another 1/4 inch around it. So this should be bigger. Yes. So here's the one that I cut out, and you can see I went ahead and cut it even bigger than my template because it just shrinks up to nothing. So this is actually smaller than the template after all is said and done. After you stuff it, it will shrink up. So just so you know that. And when you're looking for a template, the simpler, the better, because you can see a lot of this definition gets actually lost when you stuff it. So you don't want any really tight details on whatever template you're using. So keep that in mind. Simple templates are best, especially when you're going to stuff the thing. So, okay. Thank you for keeping up on the links, Kim. So I don't know, can you see that all right against this white background? Maybe I should go ahead and keep this behind it. All right. So when you get your fabric cut out and you've got your wrong size together, so there's two, you've got them both on top of each other. This is when you are going to decide either you're going to glue it or you're going to sew it. I decided to sew mine, but you could easily glue this. I like to use hot glue just because it's more immediate hold. If you use a fabric glue, you're going to get a little messy and it's not going to dry right away. So you're going to have to dry time and all that. And I just don't have time for that. So I would hot glue it. Now, here's the difference between these two. This one I sew and I turn it right side. I turn it inside out and then I sew it and then I turn it right side out and then you don't have any extra. But on this one, I left the extra and I kind of like that. That's going to be easier if you, well, it's easier either way. It's easier when you're sewing and it's easier when you're gluing if you don't have to mess with turning it right side out, but you will then have extra fabric around the edge, which I think is cute, right? It's cute and it kind of adds to the shabbiness of it. So whether you glue or sew, you're going to glue or sew a 1/4 inch in so that you have extra on the edges. Does that make sense? I feel like I am butchering that really badly, but yes. But here's the thing you want to do. Make sure that you leave yourself a hole to stuff the thing. You don't need a hole to turn it right side out, but you're going to need a hole to stuff the thing. So don't glue or sew this part. Now, when I make these, I leave the opening in a different spot, not on the bottom, and I will show you why when we do that. That one, but for this one, I feel like you're going to want the closure to be on the bottom. And also, I am not great at sewing. So when I sew up my holes closed, it doesn't always look great. But what's cool about having this extra fabric, it makes it much easier to sew that closed and you really can't tell how bad that is. but you will be able to tell on the other one. It's a whole thing. So once you get it sewn or glued, you're ready to stuff her. And did I bring over a pencil? No, that would have been too helpful. I'm just going to use this. So you're going to want to have something to poke the stuffing into all of the edges. And you want something that's not sharp to do that so that you don't poke a hole right through. So even though I'm going to use my seam ripper, I'm going to use the end of it where it's rounded so that it won't poke through. So you're just going to get some batting, and I don't know if I have enough left to stuff 2 bunnies, but we certainly will try. Well, let me get some of that out. How is everybody doing today? I like to take the stuffing and kind of fluff it because 1, it's fun. And 2, I don't want like hard balls of stuffing, you know, knotted up inside my bunny. So I like to fluff it. And then I'm just going to take a small handful and I'm going to start stuffing the ears back here. That's where I'm going for. So we'll get some in there. Isn't this a pretty fabric? I just think it's so pretty. So you can use any fabric. You could use burlap. You could use some eyelet fabric. I mean, whatever you, if this is a really great, hi Diane. This is a really great one for like scrap fabrics because it just doesn't take that much. All right. And so after I get the ears, I'm going to start on his head. Try not to stuff in too much at once. I'm going to burst my seams there. Okay. We get him in there. But this is why you're going to need something to poke your stuffing and pack it in. Because, see, I need to get down in this edge. And sometimes his nose needs a little extra something. So I'm going to use this. A chopstick works great. I just don't know where my chopstick is right now. Like I said, just make sure it's not pointy so you don't poke a hole right through. But he's already coming together. So cuties. All right. So we're going to finish stuffing this guy, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is to close him up. And that's how easy it is to make this one. Either you sew it or you don't. Glue works just fine, and it comes together really quickly. And then it's the fun part, which for me is the embellishing. And decorating the little bunnies is so cute. So it's a nice, hi Penny, how are you? I saw your adorable cup charms, really sweet. All right, let's see. Isn't he cute? I know, I love this fabric. I don't even remember where I got it. A friend gifted me this, I'm pretty sure. It's not something that I purchased myself. But if I saw it, I would. Just saying. It's adorable. All right. Look at how cute he is. All right, maybe more stuffing. So if you don't like loosen up your stuffing, it can just make these like hard knots in your pillow, and nobody wants that. So don't skip the fluffing step. All right, see, he's almost already stuffed. Uh-oh, I dropped my stuffing on the floor. All right, so cute. So really, it's up to you how much you stuff in. But I kind of think that's perfect, right? So cute. So the edge, if you're gluing, it's as simple as putting glue right there and pinching it. Boom, done. You can take it to your machine and just sew a 1/4 inch in, but my sewing machine is buried over here. I had to make room. This is my sewing table. Hi, Jody. Good morning, my sweet friend. Hi, Nicola. This is usually my sewing table, so I thought I would, for better lighting, come over here to do this class. And I think that was a wise choice. It's just now I can't get to my sewing machine. And I need my cheaters, y'all, to see. I mean, the struggle is real. Okay. So I am not great at this, and I make a mess, but you cannot see. Mary, I can't believe you. Thank you for being here, Mary. Thanks for the super chat, Mary. What in the world? Love it. So sweet. But because I'm using a white fabric, I mean a white thread on this white fabric, you're really not going to be able to see the mess I'm making at the bottom. And also because I'm leaving this edge out, it helps also to cover up the mess I'm making. And because it's on the bottom. All of those things are really helping my cause right now. Mary, I could just cry. That was so sweet of you. I do have a goal. If I get, I think it is, I've never done that before, but I think it's 5 super chats. I will do a You Choose live class. So you get to tell me what we're making. It doesn't have to be 50, any amount. We'll go for the goal. Thanks, Mary. But this comes together really quick. We're almost done, and you really cannot see the hot mess that I'm making, which, you know, that's why we call it shabby, so that we can make a hot mess and it doesn't matter. It's really just part of the aesthetic, and that's what we're going to go with. So almost got there. I just wanted to do this in real time so you could see how easy it is and how it just doesn't matter. Okay. Last one. All right, so we've got that closed. So I'm just going to make a knot down here. Let me get that trimmed off. All right, and I have to stick my needle in a certain spot or I will lose it on my desk. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right, let me cut that off. Not that it matters, because also the threads add to the shabbiness. So there is that guy. See how easy that was to do and how quick it came together, whether you're gluing it or sewing it. It's just adorable. And now let me just say something about the edges. Thanks, Mary. Enjoy your breakfast. The edges are going to fray. So either you like that or you don't. So if you don't want them to fray, which in my opinion also adds to the shabbiness, you can use your crimping shears and cut around the edge like that. And that will cut down on the amount of fray. So it's up to you. You can do that, or you can just leave them like this. So this is the easy one. I would say this is a great beginner project, the little bunny. But if you want to get just a little more technical and make a bunny that sits, how cute is this bunny? So he sits because he has a flat bottom and he has boxed corners. So I'm going to show you how to make this because it's really not that hard. It is just a little more complicated than this guy, but this guy is so stinking cute. Yes, I love this fabric. This is from Hobby Lobby. Love it. It's one of my favorite Hobby Lobby fabrics, that's for sure. But I also did make a gray one. Isn't he cute? And I think I got this out of the remnant bin. The remnant bins at the fabric stores are my favorite place to be. I'm just saying, because, you know, I don't always need yards of fabric, but it's a great place just to get remnants. And this project is a great project for remnants. Now, what I will say about these bunnies, if you made this one and you are going to use your crimping scissors for the edges, Depending on what embellishments you put on there, this could go in the washer and dryer. Okay, depending on the embellishments. This one is not going to go in the washer and dryer because I put a little rice in the bottom to give it just a little bit of weight. So you're definitely, and plus the embellishments I'm using, you are definitely not going to want to put that in the washer. So this is going to be more of a spot clean only situation for sure. It's so cute though. And look, I used one of Angel Dream Crafts adorable heart bling, one of my favorite heart blings from the store. I love it. It's pink and silver. It's so cute. So that's on the bow. All right, so let's start that one. I think I can, well, I used another white fabric, so I'm going to keep this Angel Dream Crafts fabric down so that you can see the other things I'm working on. So we're going to do a little something different with our pattern. So this is the pattern that I used for the no-sew bunny, or you could sew it too. But this same pattern, I just made the bottom a little bit different. And I have my ruler or my tape measure? Actually, don't see it anywhere. So what you want to do, because you're going to make these boxed corners on the bottom so that this rabbit will sit up, you're just going to want to come, when you're doing your 1/4 inch around your template, which is what I like to do to make it a little bit bigger, you're going to come straight down instead of around the bottom. And so I gave that about an inch and a half to 2 inches at the bottom on both sides. So that's how the pattern changes, because you need to have room to make the box pleats. But I did the same thing that I did last time, which was cut my fabric another 1/4 inch bigger than my actual pattern, right? Because it's going to shrink up when you make it. And so I'm trying to get as much width and length out of my pattern as I can when my pattern is only as big as a copy sheet of paper. So, because I don't know if you've tried this before, but you get the patterns that are bigger than one copy sheet of paper, and then you got to tape them together and do the whole thing. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. So to get it as big as I can, I went a 1/4 inch out when I cut out my pattern, and then I went a further 1/4 inch out when I cut my fabric. So I hope that all makes sense. And please, if it doesn't, don't hesitate to ask a question in the chat box. And if I don't see it, Kim will message me and I'll make sure that I get it. So on this one, you're going to want to put right sides together. So you're going to get your 2 pieces of fabric and you're going to put the right sides together this time. And then you're going to put on, pin on if you're using paper. If you're using cardstock, you can simply trace around. So that's what we're going to do. Right sides together. And so that's what I've got here. I'm using this adorable old sheet. Listen, one of my favorite ways to buy inexpensive fabric is to buy sheets at yard sales and thrift stores. Just fabulous. This is gorgeous. So I've got my right sides together, and then we're going to sew this. So I sewed it with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but I'm leaving the opening on the hump of his back because I know that you could leave an opening here, but I feel like because I want to put rice in it, it's just going to be too hard for me to close up at the end. Plus, I don't have that extra fabric sticking out, so you're really going to be able to see how bad I butcher that closure. So here, I'm going to cover it with something, a doily, some lace. I'm going to cover it so you don't see how bad it actually is. Right? You can't even see it. It's cute and adorable. So that's where I put my opening. All right. So I sewn all the way around, and then you can, if you want to, you can use your pinking shears on the edges just to make things lay better. I don't have to cut the corners off. Normally I would, but we're going to box pleat that, so I'm not going to worry about it. So now it's time to get to do the box pleats. So let me show you. You're going to come to the corner and you're going to pull the two fabrics apart. Sure you are. I might need to stick my finger up in this hole in order to get that done. Okay. So I'm just going to separate the fabric and I'm going to pull. So these two seams are on top of each other. So this bottom seam and this top seam are on top of each other. And then this kind of flattens out like so. All right. And then I am going to pin that while I do the other side. I like to use these clips. Look, I love these clips. Absolute lifesaver, these little clips. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I can get my fingers up in there. And also, I will have, in my Amazon shop, I have most of the things I'm using, like the clips and that kind of thing, are in my Amazon shop. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to put the seam on top of each other and make this little triangle. And then I am going to clip these two. Yeah, these clips are fabulous, I got to tell you. So I decided I would not do the actual sewing on this video because trying to get a good view of my camera while I'm live is ridiculous. It's just not great. So, all right, so the bottom looks like this. And now we are going to sew across. So I didn't bring a ruler over here. That was bad planning on my part. But I would say that's about 2 inches. I went ahead and marked it with a pin. I'd use my ruler. I'd measure where it's 2 inches across. Let me grab that ruler so I can make sure that it makes sense to everybody. I'll grab a pin while I'm at it. There we go. Okay. Let me see if that is 2 inches. Well, no, it's about an inch and a half. My bad. All right, so let me clip these up out of my way. And just make sure the seams on top of each other. That way we get a good thing going here. And I want to go to where it's an inch and a half. And I'm sorry, I can't zoom in, or I would. So from this side to this side is an inch and a half, about right there. And so I'm going to make a line straight across. Okay. Hi, Debbie. So I am going to do that on the other side. I know, I'm used to making videos over there where all my stuff is. Move these clips out of the way. And then we'll do an inch and a half on this side, just right there. Right, and then you're just going to sew straight down both of those. Okay, so that is what I've done here. I just sewed straight across. So now we're just going to cut this corner off. And I like to leave a little bit. I don't cut right up to that line. I leave some. So we're going to cut those right off. And now we've just boxed the bottom so it will fit. It's that easy. So I hope I made that look easy. But now it's ready to turn right side out. And I left myself a little bitty tiny opening. But that's okay. We can still do the thing. Get my fingers in there. I do love this fabric. It made such a cute little bunny. All right. So again, while I was up, I didn't get my my pencil I like to use to poke out the edges, but that's all right. I will use this guy because I need to get his ears poked out here. No. There we go. Too cute. So now this one is ready to stuff. How cute is he? So I will go ahead and stuff this one because I want to show you what I'm talking about when I sew the back closure and how absolutely ridiculous that looks, but how it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. But I do like to start with the ears because, you know, they're kind of hardest to get to. Thank you. Thank you, Nicola. They really are cute, aren't they? So adorable. So if you want to use this pattern, I got this pattern from Crafty Morning, but I also have it in Judy's group in the bunny event. Hi, Mary. Thank you. But I'm sure if you Google simple bunny template, this one will probably pop up for you. And if you missed the beginning, I go into a lot about the actual pattern I'm using and what kind of template you'd want to use and those type of things at the beginning, so you could go back and watch later. Well, it's so stinking cute. All right, let's fluff it. I'm quickly running out of fiberfill. Oh, I almost forgot. Well, I did forget, but it wasn't at the point of no return. I like to put a little bit of rice in the bottom of this just to give it some weight so that it stands up. So I am going to put in a half cup of rice in this teeny tiny hole to which I have no funnel. So it'll be a good time. So I went ahead and stuffed the head first and got the ears good. And I'm going to do it over the jar because I am no doubt going to make a mess because I didn't bring a funnel. Okay, that wasn't bad. I think I dropped like 3 down here. All right, and so I'm using a 1/4 cup, so I need 1 more scoopful. We can do it. We can do it. There we go. And now it's got some weight, which is going to help it stand up. So I highly recommend the rice. I mean, if you don't use rice, it's still going to look cute sitting on a shelf, but it'll have to be leaning up against something. It's not going to do it on its own. Hi, Dawn Marie. So yay for the rice. I'm glad we remembered that just in time. Let's finish stuffing. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday and that you're having a beautiful day. I know there's some storms going on across the country. I hope everybody's staying safe. It is a beautiful day in Maine today, even though the ground is still covered in snow. That's okay. Spring is in the air. I can feel it. All right. I like to push that stuffing down in there. We've almost got her. A little more fluffing. There we go. I love these so much. I was thinking about also maybe making some egg sachets. I mean, am I just going crazy? But I think I want to make some egg sachets. We'll see. Adorable. Well, I'm glad I had enough. I was worried I wouldn't have enough stuffing to do both the bunnies, but I think we're good. Get in there. Okay. And I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay, because I'm not using a microphone. I'm only using the microphone on my laptop, and I don't know how that actually is working out. So let me know how it's going on that end. Oh, that is such a cute idea, Nicola. I love that shabby carrot. That's super cute. Super cute idea. All right. Getting him a little extra swollen right there. He's got a little inflammation happening. Let me fix that. All right, and maybe just a little bit more. I don't want a lumpy bunny. All right. Yes. Cuteness. All right, so now you could take it to your machine, but I find when you stuff something, it's just really hard when you don't have like the extra 1/4 inch out to sew that on my machine. It's a little bulky. So I'm just going to hand stitch that closed, and it's going to look terrible. But friends, it doesn't matter because I'm going to cover it with a doily. Yay for doilies. Y'all, I am getting to where I can barely see to do this anymore. And I even have my cheaters on. So, aha! Yes, I love when that happens. Okay. There we go. I should have had a bunch of needles threaded and ready to go, but I didn't think of everything. You know. Okay. Ready. Good enough. Good enough. So you see, we're just going to tuck in. You can't see his ears are in the way. We're just going to tuck in the edges of the fabric and knead it together like that. And now we're just going to sew that. And if you are a better sewer than myself, you'll make a nice, neat little closure and it'll be fabulous. But I am here to show you that you don't have to be skilled to close this bunny up. It's just not going to matter. I've done an over stitch and I don't really like that. So I am going to just I'll show you when I'm done. It's kind of a simple straight stitch is what I'm doing. And I'm not too worried about what it looks like because we're going to cover it up, right? And it's hilarious, Nicola. Oh, man. All right, so you see these come together really quickly, and they're just easy to do, and they're cute and fun. And what a sweet little Easter and spring decoration they are. And speaking of swaps, like that's why we're doing this one. We're having a swap in Judy's group. Nicola also hosts swaps in her group. And maybe Kim can get us the link to that too. So just fabulous, fabulous swapping going on. And I will say, if you've never done swaps before, it's a really fun way to kind of practice crafting something that may be new to you, which is always nice. And then you make one and then you send it to someone and they make one and send it to you. And it's sweet, right? Because you're sharing your craft and they're sharing their craft, and I love a good swap. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to show you all the things that are wrong with what I've done, and then we're going to cover it up and never talk about it again. All right. Thanks, Kim. I have to go ahead and put a knot in the end of this right now because I never remember, and then I'll go to sew something and pull the thread right through, and I always get so aggravated at myself. So I'm just going to take the second to do that. All right. Now, that looks terrible. He's got definitely don't want that point right there. That's not a good look. But, friends, that's what the doily is for. And that is why I'm going to cover, because I don't always get a lump there, but you can always see it's just not like this. All is nice. Very nice seams. And then you get this, and it's like, what happened? That can be easily covered with a doily, and nobody has to know, right? And that's what I'm going to do there. Now for the embellishments, we talk about these two. You can sew on the embellishments. You can glue on the embellishments. It's totally up to you. I glued these on because they're only spot clean anyway because they have rice in them. And the hot glue holds things just fine, especially to like a decorative pillow. It's just not going to get a lot of manhandling and playing with. So it's fine. I say just do it. Just do the glue. I glued and sewed the tail on, and I glued and sewed the bow on, and then I sewed on this really cute, adorable bling from Kim's shop. But what I don't have over here is my hot glue gun. So I'm actually not going to put the doily on right now. I'll do that later when I'm over where my hot glue gun is. But I can show you how I make the tie and the tail. If you'd like to see, I will show that to you. For the tie, I use the mini Bodabra. This has been my absolute favorite little gadget because it makes so many great things. So anytime I'm making a tulle pom-pom or a double bow, or if I want it to be fluffy, this little guy is what I use. So I am going to use this crinkly seam binding that I get from this fabulous shop on Etsy. And I'm sorry that I don't have the name of that right now. But I love to get it already crinkled for me, so I don't have to do it myself. It's one of those lazy crafting hacks. Just buy, somebody else will do it for you. So I love it. And I do have a mini Bodabra in my Amazon shop if you're interested, and the link to my Amazon shop is below. But this is so easy to use. I love this thing. So whatever you're going to tie your bow with, or whatever it is you're making, you're going to put long ways through here. So I'm just going to tie my bow with a piece of the seam binding. And then if you're making a bow, you need to decide how big you want this bow to be. So I want this bow to be about the width of my Bodabra. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put this one at this end. I'm going to go all the way to this end, and then I'm going to make my first loop that size, making sure to carry it through the middle each time. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I want to have lots of loops on this bow because this bunny needs a very loopy bow. He's so cute. So I think I'm going to give 3 on there. And let's see, how many does he have? 1, 2, 3. He has 3. So that's about right. And then I'm going to cut that right there. Then I'm going to push this down. This bar is what holds the bulk down while you tie it together. So easy. I love it, love it, love it. Of course, you don't need a bow dabber to make a bow, but I find with the fluffier bows, it's just easy. So I'm pushing down on the bar while I'm pulling the tie up with my hand. And now I'm just going to tie it. And I'm pushing down on the bar while I pull that tight. Now I find I don't need to do the knot bow with that all in there. Just having that one tie was good enough. So I pull that tight. And now I am going to make a knot there. And then we're going to pull it out. And it's kind of hard to see with crinkly seam binding because it's all a crinkly, it's all a crinkly mess, but it's a nice, it's a cute bow. It's so cute and wrinkly. Okay. So what I would do now is actually, I like to do another piece around the neck so there's no seam in the back. So I will just take this around like that. And you could tie it or glue it, but I would glue it. But my hot glue gun isn't over here. And so I would glue that right there. So it's going all the way around his neck. And then I would simply pop that on with some glue. The bow, it's so cute, right? Or you could absolutely sew that on. It would be so cute. And then I would find a beautiful piece of my Angel Dream Crafts bling. Look at this little bling box. I love it. And ta-da, it's full of Angel Dream Crafts. Also, this would be cute. I put that on the top because I thought maybe on this guy, we'll do one of these. I mean, doesn't that go so good with that? Love this bling. And that's from Angel Dream Crafts on Etsy. And Kim can put a link to her shop in there for you. Love it. There's also a link to her shop in my description box. And I also thought one of these would be cute with one of her cabochons in it. But I only have this big one, and this one's a little big for the bunny, I think. But these are very springy, and this would look really cute, I feel like, in the middle of the bow. Isn't that adorable? Very cute. So on this one, I put a key charm, which I thought was very sweet. And this is just that fiber yarn. And then I made this bow with my little mini Bodabra. Cute. And then I used yarn for the tail. So let me show you real quick how I make the tail. And I will finish decorating him up after I get over where my hot glue gun is. So let me just show you how to make this real quick. And then if you have any questions, please be sure to let me know. And what did I do with my little card? So I have this little card I use to when I'm doing some mixed media stuff, but it also works great for making a bow. First, I'm going to cut myself off some to tie it with. And I like to use this really soft, fuzzy yarn because even if it starts to fray, it's just going to be so stinking adorable. Isn't it cute? So cute. So I'm going to go long ways, and I'm just going to wrap around until I can hold that down. And however many times you wrap around is totally up to you, how big you want your little fluffy bunny tail to be. So I don't count. Some people like to count. I'm not trying to count anything. I just keep wrapping until I think, that'll do. Yeah. All right. So yes, I will say though, going straight up and down is better than going across because when you cut this thing, it's going to need a lot of trimming if you have a lot of sideways things wrapping around. Okay. I think that looks good. All right, let me move that out of the way. So I'm going to try to slip this thing off of here without messing everything up. But we're live, so what are the odds that I'm not going to mess it up? All right, it's off my card. I'm going to lay this down, and then I'm going to set this down in the middle. So far, so good. And then I'm just going to pull that tight. And then I'm going to make a knot. Okay, now I'm going to hold on to that. And I am going to try to cut these loops. So let me try to split it in half. There we go. And I'm just going to come up inside the loop and cut. There we go. Let's do the other side. Oops, missed one. See, and then there's the sideways one I did. So that'll make, well, I'll show you. This just means we're going to have to do some trimming. It's really not that big a deal. Okay, now I'm going to kind of shake it and fluff it out. Fluff it out. And then I have like some really long pieces. And I just am going to trim those off. You'll just have less to trim if you keep everything kind of straight when you're wrapping it around your card. But, you know, it happens. So you give it a little haircut, and there you have your fluffy tail. So all you have to do then is either glue or sew or do both, which is what I did. And it goes right there. And how cute. How cute is that? So I hope you enjoyed creating these with me, and please let me know if you have any questions. I hope that I made that easy enough to follow. I haven't done a live class in a really long time, so thank you for joining me here today. And I hope that you give it a go, and be sure if you make one following the class and using the template, don't forget to tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I would love to see what you created, and I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you, Kim, for moderating for me. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.